so that it stays anchored on the ear, we put a piece of tape right here. And then so that it stays, the wire kind of stays in a straight line down the back. Sometimes we'll put a piece of tape right here on the neck. And before I tape them up, I always have them look down, because you have to assume that they're going to be doing the intense choreography. And if you don't have them look all the way to the left or look down, you could accidentally tape too far up, and then they'll pull their tape right off. So it's pretty important that we remember to do that every show. And we do. So geez, that's about 6, 7, or 8 different ways that we kind of dummy-proof these mics. And it's real critical, because when you have 31 live mics in a show, the last thing you want is one of them to fail, and especially in the middle of an act. And you know, a lot of these people are principal actors and actresses, and we don't want any problems with that. And we usually don't have any, but that's because we take a bunch of very tedious and time-consuming precautions, but it's definitely worth it in the end. Any questions about this stuff? Back here? Questions are cool. I like questions. Because then I don't have to talk so much. Okay.
That's a lot of microphones.
Yeah, you know, it's as many as I've really ever done. I'm usually in the 20s, but we have 31 for the show. And we'll talk about, you know, that's a challenge, obviously, because there is so many. And you have to do these same tedious things to each one of the 31 microphones. Plus, you increase your probability for failure the more microphones you have. Your chances of something failing are just, you know, that much stronger. But it's a good thing. Last year, we did the Music Man. I guess company did the Music Man in here. And we only had like 21 microphones. And the cast that needed to be in mic was, I think, about 26 or 27. So we had to do switch outs in the middle of the show. Some at intermission, but also some right in the middle of Act 1 or Act 2. And that becomes really challenging really quickly, because you rely on a lot of variables that aren't necessarily going to happen like you want them to happen every night. You rely on actors and actresses meeting you at a certain place. You rely on everything working out technically when you have to physically switch the mic over. You rely on accurate placement of the mic, consistent placement of the mic each and every night. But that's really tough to do when you're moving really quick and trying to do a quick mic change. So there are a lot of advantages to having the proper amount of mics. You just have, the more you add on to your show, I think the more precautions you have to take to make sure that all of your bases are covered and you're minimizing your failure rate or eliminating it. And oh, you'll see antennas hanging in the air here. There's a lot of kids and scenery moving on and off here, so we elected to pick the antenna's cable with rope. And you can see right by the light beams right here, we have 2 sets of antennas. One set of 3 here, and one set of 3 here, and you can see the cable coming down. One of the reasons we elected to pick them with ropes, we do have these side ladders up here. If you kind of look, you can see them right above the lighting, the picks for the really heavy lighting cable. We couldn't bring those in without taking all of the lighting cable off, throwing it over the side ladders, and then bringing it in. It would have been preferable, because then instead of doing these rope picks, we could have just had a metal bar running straight across here and just tie this antenna cable up on the